Hello, JFOT, and welcome to your deck review. For those of you joining us for the first time on YouTube, this is a series where I, Maldhound, normally a hater, normally a detractor of everything you hold dear, will politely and lovingly work on your commander deck's weird little PP. Your PP being your premise and your practicum. Your premise is the idea behind your deck. It's what you hope the deck can do. Your practicum is the 99. It's what goes wrong when you actually play the deck. So we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about JFOT's idea, whether or not it's playable in the bracket they want to play at, and then we'll look at what they put in the deck, what's holding them back. So from an idea perspective, we're pretty fine. We want to play the 10th Doctor, we want to play her with Rose Tyler, we want to exile big scary stuff, and then slam big scary stuff on the table. That totally works in bracket 3, no problem. I do want to spend a little bit of time talking about the specific problems you raised. You talked about folding to single target removal. You talked about folding to mill because you don't have a good enough recursion package. And I want to tell you, both of these problems are the same problem and the problem with your practicum, which is that you don't have scary things, actually. You don't have enough threats. You have a number of things that you think are scary, but in actuality only become scary when combined with a million other things. Like you have All Will Be One, which you said make brain Happy Chemical. I'm a big fan of Happy Chemical. This one's tough though, right? Like we're putting like 1 to 2 counters on Rose Tyler per turn, and the time counters we put on stuff in exile don't count for All Will Be One because they're not permanents or players. Now it can count if you do the insane bullshit you told me about with Millennium Calendar, but this is like absolute pet card territory. And when it comes to pet cards, I'm a really big believer in pet cards, especially at bracket 3, but they have to be self-contained. Like it has to be a thing where it's like, I'm spending mana on this and this is going to do its thing by itself and it's going to be great. I am not a fan of pet combos. And pet combos are when you play cards that individually do basically nothing for your deck and individually do nothing by themselves. But when you combine them, then they get on like a house on fire. Those are better off in bracket 2. I think as you try to take those to bracket 3, they too often end up being just like totally dead cards. Now I will hear out All Will Be One's interaction with the War Doctor. That's probably the best one. And like I'm a little bit more sympathetic to this one because the War Doctor is an appropriate card for bracket 3. Like he synergizes with your command zone. And at minimum, if we synergize with the command zone, I'll hear you out. But the entire deck, or nearly the entire deck, is built around nothing's really going to happen until I have 3 to 4 cards combine, and then I get you. And most of Alon-Z is built around I get to cast something for no mana that should cost a million. Like even, and people are gonna be like, whoa, he just scrolled past Omniscience. Omniscience is only broken if the spells you have in your hand are broken, and what we have in our hand is a bunch of precon all-timers. So what we need is more stuff that is just like, did I exile you with the 10th Doctor? In 3 turns, Happy Chemical. And in 3 turns, you have a massive problem. Because also another thing I want to talk about that is going to hold you back, Suspend is getting worse and worse as Commander goes on. I only bring this up because pretty much every other archetype is getting better and better, but Suspend is getting weaker and weaker the more things they print because you become the only person at the table who has to play with your hand revealed, basically. Like you're the only person who has to show off your threat multiple turns before it's a real threat. The green-blue, like all the people who play ramp, even if you're not in green, we're getting more and more ramp options. We get new mana rocks printed like all of the time. So if you just want to get up to like the 12 mana to cast Emrakul, you can do it now. And you can do it without showing people Emrakul. And you can probably do it faster than this deck is doing it. And that's not a knock on you because like this is fun. You should do the thing that's fun. But I do want you to be mentally prepared for the fact that we are going to be playing from a disadvantage because we're doing the same thing a ramp deck wants to do, but we have to show everybody what we're ramping to, which is going to make everybody go, hey, kill him. And we can try to get around that with stuff like Sphinx of the Second Sun with Ninth Doctor. Like, I understand why we have all this time travel, but it's still tough. It's still tough because there's a reputation around, oh, they could flip anything. And so people will overreact. They will commit removal to you before they should. They will commit removal to you when they see that the scary thing's coming before you can even make deals about who you're going to swing it at. So you have to be a very patient politician when you pilot a deck like this. But then some of these time travel cards are just like straight up weak, right? Like this card is dog shit, but we only have it because it can time travel. And I'm not convinced. I'm actually definitely convinced very, very few things we have in the deck as is are worth playing bad cards to help accelerate. Like what I would want this deck to be is what I see in the command zone is a very mana hungry commander and somebody we can play off of just like opening hand land drops. So what I would probably be on is a lot of really expensive ramp. Like I would be on 3 and 4 mana ramp. I would be on a lot of lands because I know I'm always going turn 1, it's Soul Ring or it is 0, right? It's Soul Ring or I wouldn't even cast Clock Spinning. I would be going Soul Ring or bust on turn 1. Maybe I'm holding up interaction. Like you should have cheap interaction. Turn 2, always playing Rose Tyler. Turn 3, my dream is to play like Worn Power Stone or Palladium Mirror. I think those are the only 2 3 mana options that will give you 2 mana, so that's like the best thing. But turn 3, I would want to play a Mana Rock. Turn 4, I would want to play an even bigger Mana Rock. Well, no, turn 4, I would want to play my Commander, and then I would want to swing. And then every turn after that, I would want to play the biggest Mana Rock known to man, or I would want to play an incredibly powerful spell while holding up counter magic. Like that's what the deck would be about in my mind. And that way I'm like, either I flip a suspended threat that's horrifying, and then I just sit there with my counter spells and my removal and I wait, or I flip something that's not very scary and I go, fuck it, and I play the terrifying thing from my hand. Versus right now, you're playing just like set up, set up, set up, set up, set up. Like Omniscience is set up. It's set up to draw something that is expensive that I can then play. But your deck can very easily just ramp to it. So like a lot of your stuff, like this has suspend for no reason. It just says suspend on it. That's the only reason it's in the deck. Signet is nice. Why would we ever play Signet on turn 2 though? And so if we're not going to play it on turn 2, there is an argument for, okay, well, Signet's good enough fixing and we're in 3 colors. So on turn 3, I would be down to play Signet and then hold up Swords to Plowshares. I feel that. Signet's worth talking about. I don't think Mind Stone is worth talking about, though. Like, this doesn't fix any of our colors, which is a non-zero worry. A lot of people like to just assume that your colors are always fixed. I have many 3-color decks. You don't always get there. And you're on 9 basics. Like, you're at kind of in the high territory of basics. But like, oh, if we look at Suspend Enabler, God, did these cards not do anything? Holy shit. So like, this gives other stuff suspend. Why? That's always the question, right? If you, like, I think if you want to make a deck where you are suspend maxing, also very possible, that deck is likely going to have a better time in bracket 2, because then you do not have to be very direct about putting threats on the table, about progressing to a winning game state. But the deck that was described in the primer to me is like flip something crazy. And you talk about Exile Matters style gameplay. I don't think bracket 3, 5th Doctor, whatever Doctor we're working with, I don't think a bracket 3 deck for that guy is where you want to be for Jeskai Exile Matters. Because again, you have to like, you have to flip all of your scary shit so far in advance that it better be worth it. It better be worth it. You are taking a permanent disadvantage when it comes to being able to politic. And then the other benefit of going this ramp heavy angle is they remove your commander. you're only ever like one mana rock away from being able to hard cast the thing that you were gonna flip. So I will try to let you keep the big Exile Matters pieces, but I will say a lot of the stuff that is just like, oh, I'm adding more suspend just to do it. That is probably what we have to leave behind. I would say like these 5 cards, without even thinking about it, I would just cut. I would be playing Brainstorm's really cute. I like Brainstorm for putting stuff back on top of our deck. I would cut these 3 instantly. I would keep your interaction package. I would cut these instantly. I would cut. Ugh, you really like Keeper of Secrets. What I don't like about Keeper of Secrets is that it's target opponent, and so it limits us in our ability to do board control. I think I like Flaming Tyrannosaurus more. Any target, yeah, I really like that. So Keeper of Secrets doesn't have to die, but I would put Flaming Tyrannosaurus in. This is Exile Matters. This is throwing burn damage around. It's getting big counters on a boy. Works with all will be one if we find a path to keeping that. I would dump this extra turn shit. Well, maybe. No. Keep the extra turns. You earned them. Your ramp. This is probably what I would switch up the most. I would say Soul Talisman, dead in a ditch. Never find him again. Rotating Fireplace, almost certainly dead in a ditch. Mox Tantalite, ditch. Mindstone, ditch. Lotus Bloom, ditch. Hourglass of the Lost, ditch. What we want is you either have to fix mana really good, or you have to make more than 1 mana when I tap you. If we do that, we will create a deck where I am getting my colors very reliably, and then I can potentially just ramp to the big threats that I wanted to cast anyway. Whole time travel, well, nearly whole time travel section, I would just kill. Sphinx you can keep because it's a big flyer. That's a non-zero benefit. Dead in a ditch. Dead in a ditch. I'm gonna let you try to rock with this one because we can just get for 4 mana, we can get a card straight out of exile the turn that we suspend it. Ninth Doctor probably dead in the ditch because we got to keep swinging this boy if we're going to use him. I believe in that once or twice. I don't believe in that for the marathon. Fireplace dead in a ditch. Paradox Haze I'll try to let you rock with. Jorda's Time Bug dead in a ditch. Clock Spinning dead in a ditch. And then Protection dead in a ditch. Good. That's not protection. That's the opposite. I don't know if you know this. Napalm, opposite of protection. Opposite of protection. This shit just said time counters on it. Be real with me. Be real with me right now. Right now. Dead in a ditch. Good card. So 4 board wipes because you are in white. White and blue, both very, very good at saying fuck everybody who's not me. The type of board wipes I think you want. Early game, you want stuff like Battle of Bywater. And a good early game board wipe for you is I'm going to board wipe everybody but the 10th Doctor. Rose Tyler, I don't give a fuck. I can replay her. She was 2 mana. 10th Doctor, I got to keep him around. Fuck, 3 or greater. So we have to go to the next layer of the O tag you want to go through on. The O tag you want to go through on Scryfall is Sweeper. You also want O tag Power Matters. I would highly encourage you to do a little bit more research on your own because I'm probably not going to have time to go through every board wipe that would be good for you. Okay, Slaughter the Strong would work. I pick just my commander, the rest of you die. I then swing my commander and I get to suspend something. Expel the Interlopers, this would work. Wave of Reckoning, this would work because our commander's butt is bigger than his front. This blows up all creatures. Destined Confrontation can do it. There's also another thing that says like vow counters. How many things could say vow? Come on. Oh, Promise of Loyalty. This could also work. You pick your commander, the rest of them can't swing at you. Bing, bang, boom. But that's how we clean the board up. We don't want to, I don't think we want to be blowing up everything. For Exile Matters, that's not true. That's true. That's true. That's true. I'll let you keep all these. For Bonk, I don't believe in All Will Be One. I'm gonna be so frank with you. We can try to keep it as a pet card because we're already making a lot of room in this deck, but I don't believe in it. Fuck Omniscience, quite frankly. I think this card will only ever bring you more heat than it will get you. It's like a GTA cheat code that sets you to five wanted stars instantly without giving you a tank. Like maybe after we reorient the deck to have this like new mana package have way bigger spells, it will be better. But I think a big problem you're going to have right now is you're going to slam Omniscience. Everyone's going to be like, oh my god, we have to get Jerry. He has Omniscience. And you're sitting on Rift Elemental, who is dead in the ditch, by the way. Seagate, this card's not very good. You could cut it. I'm not going to say you have to, but you could. And you could just make it like a land that is 2 colors. We've talked about this. I really don't believe in this one, man. I really don't. We don't have other untapped synergies. We got nothing's happening here. Nothing's happening here. It's part of it. Like this is the poster child for bracket 2 version of the deck. Cut this shit right now. Cut this shit right now. Hold on, can you add these when you time travel? Oh, we can add. Never mind. You get to keep it. Congratulations, you get to keep it. Most of your individual interaction choices are fine. I think you could do with adding more. And then we want to make the curve of this deck look stupid. You might even need to go up a little bit on ramp, but I want like a huge hill between 6 and 10. I want to see this like this 3 mana bar become nearly entirely good ramp options, and then I want to see us just skip 4 and 5 outside of our commander and just go like threat, fuck you. Like every card has to be a self-contained, terrifying thing. So other good Exile Matters stuff. We talked about Flaming Tyrannosaurus. Meet the Bone Horde Dracosaur. He does not care about you having played from exile, but he will exile stuff for you. So if you do hit your Exile Matters creatures, great. You also talked about being held back by tutors. You're probably being held back a little bit. Bracket 3, you can make it without tutors. You don't need them. They're not necessary. We can make this deck hum without tutors. Other generically good cards. I don't know if the camera will work. It's 2 mana. Honestly, you could. The only thing I don't like about this card is we can't make it work with the first Doctor trigger because we're probably tapping out to play the Doctor. But the turn after, like any turn you eventually got it, you just copy the Doctor's trigger, and that sounds pretty solid to me. In a similar vein, you could also do blue Go-Go for some. Oh wait, I'm just giving you more greedy synergy pieces. We can't be on that. So mana value greater than or equal to 6. Show me Jeskai. Who are my heroes? You could slam Sun Titan. I don't think it's necessary. Slam Treasure Cruise. I don't think it's necessary, but it would work. Don't love Thought Monitor. I'm down with Meteor Golem. Shamil would be hilarious, and it's down to $4 now. This would at least be funny, kind of distracted card, but by itself, it's gonna provide you a lot of shit if they don't remove it. Like it's either gonna get you on Discover 5 in the new version of this deck. We're gonna hit removal We're gonna hit ramp. Both of those are great. Don't do Approach of the Second Sun, please God. Portal to Phyrexia is a classic. You could do any number of Eldrazi for the sake of bonk. Summon Bahamut, new classic. I love this guy. He's way too fucking expensive though. Trumpeting Carnosaur, surprisingly good. Big guy who draws you a new card. He pulls a lot more weight than people think. I don't love Sublime Epiphany. I want to love Extravagant Replication, but we're not solid enough yet for the greed. Call Forth the Tempest would do it, but this one's outrageously expensive because it's only from Lord of the Rings. That one's not quite good enough. How expensive are you? $4, son of a bitch, man. How about you? $6, son of a bitch, man. Motherfuckers know that cards are good. Son of a bitch, man. You have Emrakul already. We don't have a lot of colorless creatures, so I don't love Kozilek. Expropriate's threatening as fuck, but also $1 million. Oh, you could do Aminatu's Augury, because this also exiles. So if you ever get like Naltheshni or Flaming Tyrannosaurus out, this one plays into that great. Mind's Dilation is funny. This is an instant. Want some big creatures, though. Want some big boys. God, fuck if I don't love Arcanus. I love calling this man basically Rhystic Study. Reaver Titan converts damage to opponents, but it doesn't convert damage on our side. We talked about Flaming Tyrannosaurus. I mean, you could just do shit like Ulamog's Crusher. Like, that's the thing, is this is a relatively low quality threat, and it just beats 90% of your deck stone cold, because 90% of our deck is, well, what if I told you I was going to do Exile Matters, flip a bunch of threats, and then I just kind of built, like, Rube Goldberg machines for a really, really long time, where half of it cared about Exile, half of it cared about suspend counters, one of the combos just cared about counters in general. Like, we got to get a little bit more focused on how do I convert to damage. Like this. Oh my god, a Vigilant 10/10 who makes new 10/10s? Like, this is not game-winning combo territory. But if all your deck does is slam threats like this while holding up interaction, you will convert a lot more games than you think you would. I love Skyline Despot. These are my favorite, like, budget piece of shit ads. Shit, dog, they'll hate you. They'll hate you because you spoke the truth. So keep scrolling through that in EDH Rec, and then you will have to tweak, like, how much card draw do I need? How many big creatures do I need? But that is the template. The template has to become that, like, Rose Tyler is my turn 2 play every time. I'm ramping turn 3. I'm getting my commander turn 4, provided I've hit my lands. Where I'm continuing to ramp, and then I get my commander, and I have to flip something that is removal, scary, or ramp, and then I play something scary out of my hand. And then we're singing. Right now we're just too all over the place with the stuff we want to do. And I understand why. It all looks fun. But I hope that I provided some direction on how we can make it fun and to the brief. So if anybody has any other suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, I wish you the best of luck, and I hope this helps.